Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is January 17th. I'm finally going to start the work on the Caprice. This is our 85 Caprice Classic with the 305 V8. Got a lot of work to do, and let's get started. Got a bunch of parts and tools set up here. Got a canister to drain the coolant, oil filter. Got the replacement carburetor here, some carb cleaner, suction device to pull some coolant out before I take off the intake. Got a distributor wrench. Picked up on eBay or vintage dwell meter, a Delco dwell meter. Hopefully that'll help me set up any adjustments or fine tuning I need to do on the carb. Got a diaphragm here. This is actually for the dashboard. That's going to be for another project. Spark plugs are here. Intake manifold bolts if I need them. Filter for the charcoal canister. I got a fuel filter, air filter of course, intake manifold gaskets, valve cover gaskets, spark plug gapping tool. I also have PCV valve in here, the various sealants and thread locks, gasket scraper tool, and of course the trusty shop manual. Start by disconnecting the battery so I don't forget to do that later. So just leaving that loose. Part one will be draining the radiator and the overflow tank, and then part two will be getting up underneath there. Okay, of course the engine is cool, so there's no issues here with the radiator. I'll just remove the radiator cap first, and I'm going to remove the coolant overflow cap here too. All right, let's go underneath. Okay, now underneath the radiator, look up through here, and that's where you can see the connection for the lower radiator hose. Okay, so looking down from the top again, zoom in here, there is a petcock there, but that's about halfway up the radiator. You can see the lower radiator hose below it. Now we'll come across to the other side. And on this radiator, which we replaced, gosh, I don't know how many years ago, you can see at the bottom there is the radiator petcock on the opposite side of the lower drain hose. And to take that off there, looks like it's going to make an equal mess. So I still think I'm just going to take off the lower radiator hose and be done with it. Back underneath here, there is the screw for the clamp to hold that lower radiator hose. So I'm going to loosen this now and then gradually work the hose back, and then I'll position this tub underneath until that clamp moves freely. Okay, now I'm just going to take the screwdriver and I'm trying to pry that radiator hose off a little bit at a time just to loosen it, and then I'll see if I can get it loosened enough that it'll move by hand. We got it loosened, it's dripping. Okay, there she goes. Okay, there goes the rest. I'll just pop that radiator hose down and below the lower radiator frame. Ugh. All right, now we'll let the rest of that drain. Okay, so we're back up top side here. I'll peek in from the top of the radiator. You can see that drained very nicely. So now I'll take off the overflow here to get that rest of that drained. I took out one of the pins that hold these in. The trick is going to be to lift the inner piece of the pin up so that you can compress the bottom. And you can easily feel the bottom of these from underneath the fender. But if you just pull the top piece off first, then the rest should slide out. So you have 1, 2, and a third one there. So I'm just going to work this one up first from inside, pull that pin up like that, get that up and out of the way. Once that inner pin is up, now the whole pin pops out easily. Reach in and do the same thing here. for the third one. Actually, before we can remove the whole thing, I have to take this clamp off for the overflow here. Bring this hose back and out like that. And now we can lift this out and clean it. There's some sediment down there in the bottom, and we'll just flush this out and get all that gunk out. Put a little Dawn dish soap in the bottom. Some of that debris and sediment was pretty stubborn, so I'm just gonna let this soak, and then I'll thoroughly flush it out, power wash it if I have to later. We'll let this sit. Oh yeah. All right, so this is all power washed. You can see in there all that sediment is gone. It's nice and clean. I'll start up here with this one and then just kind of get it pushed in. Once the base is in, then I can push down the top piece and that locks it in place. And the last one down here. Get that in. All right, there we go. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave the cap off because we want that to dry out, and I can reattach this hose. All right, I'm gonna come in here behind the fan shroud and look down, and you can see there's a puddle of radiator fluid. So I'm gonna soak that up with some towels now, just so I don't forget about that later. All right, we got a bunch of paper towels down in there, just soaking up all that spilled coolant that got in there underneath the radiator on the bottom of the fan shroud, and we'll clean that up now. Okay, so the radiator's still dripping just a little bit down there. It's gonna leave that now while we work on some other stuff. Take off the air filter housing and work our way in for disassembly. I'm going to label these hoses. All right, so 1 and 2. I don't have to do this, but just so I don't get this in the way or accidentally crush it, I'm going to pull off the heat riser. Now we're going to start disconnecting everything from the carburetor, all the vacuum hoses, the clips, so that we can get ready to take this out. I'm going to start disconnecting everything that I've labeled here around the carburetor to prepare for removing it. I've labeled everything that goes on here, from the fuel control mixture solenoid, throttle position sensor, everything for the throttle and the cruise here, and all of this forest of vacuum lines with numbers. For the parts that I couldn't attach a corresponding label on the old carburetor, I put the corresponding numbers on the new carburetor so that I know where to attach. Start underneath here with this spring, and I'll just pull this forward and out and lay that over on the valve. To remove these throttle linkages, you have to take these clips off. So I'm just going to get a flat blade screwdriver in, and that's going to lift that front piece up and over the pin, slide that back, and then lift the clip right off like that. Thing for this other one right here, just push that in and lift that back off like that. So now I'm going to try to remove this transmission kickdown cable here. I think I have to slide it forward or down, and then I can pop it off just like that. You'll see on the back it has that hole or opening, and that's how it gets connected. And then we'll just lay that down. All right, so I'm going to continue around, I guess just kind of clockwise here. So take off the throttle position sensor. You've got a little clip here that pulls up, and then you just slide that out to disconnect it. We'll take off this hose clamp here at number 5. I won't take off the hose clamp, I'll loosen it. And then we'll wiggle this one out. Just take your time with these. Okay, now with those two out, I think I can reach in here to get off number 9 at the bottom. Okay, 9 is off. Do the hose clamp here at number 4. Now, this one has a T, you'll see. but the new carburetor has this piece, so I'm leaving that on. Okay, and I'll take off the mixer control solenoid. Just kind of work that back. I forgot one label. I just added it here. 8 is underneath the fuel filter. There was a clamp here, and there's another clamp up underneath right in there that you can't see. Okay, so you can just barely see it right up in there. Okay, plan B, just to make this easier for myself. I did already have this labeled as 8 up here, but now I've labeled the left side here 8A and the right side here 8B. And I'm just going to take off these here on the left side 8A, and then on the right side 8B. Okay. Moving on now, what I've labeled number 3 is what's going in here at the fuel filter. Loosen that hose clamp. This hose may be a bit difficult. Try to take your pliers and twist that hose a little bit. It's coming off. It still might be a candidate for replacement, but now I don't want to lose all these hose clamps. I have a feeling some of them are going to come off, so I'm just going to tighten those down a little bit. Okay, I'll disconnect the cable connector for the electric choke. And then down underneath here, what I've labeled number 10, just going to wiggle that one off there. Actually didn't mean to do that. I have to take off the rubber piece. Put that, that broke. So I'll reattach it to this piece now. Okay, fortunately that's a good save. Now on the back of the carburetor, we've got 6 and 7. Okay, so there's one. And now this one, I have to get a wrench to take that out. All right, to remove this line off the back of the carb, I have a 5/8 flare nut here attached to a socket wrench for the smaller nut, and I have an adjustable wrench attached to the larger nut that's against the carburetor. And so I'm just going to pull this to loosen it, like that. Okay, now that that's loose, take that out. So now I can pull out my adjustable wrench. This inner nut, just so you know, 3/4 is too big, 11/16 is too small. So of course that's that weird size in between. Really shouldn't use an adjustable wrench because you don't want to strip any of this, but I just needed to hold that in place. The key here is the flare nut for this, so you avoid stripping it. And then just take that out like that. Over here on the other side, I forgot to label one item, so I just added an 11 for this little connector right here, and that's coming off of here. So I'm going to transfer this to the new carb, but just so I can take this out, I took that off. And then on top here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. These are 1/2 inch. So we'll start taking these off. A little disconcerting, that one's loose already, as is this one. Okay, we'll do an extension for the back. Wow, these are really loose. That's a lot disconcerting, actually. Okay. Okay, we'll take those out. Okay, now let's lift out the carburetor, take it off, and we'll take off the old gasket. Okay, that looks pretty clean already. I'm impressed. Maybe that's just because the thing was so loose, which was concerning, but anyway. I'm going to stuff some paper towels in there, if any, here on the top, just so that nothing gets in there. Now with those towels stuffed in there, I'm going to clean this off with some carburetor cleaner. Don't have to really do any scraping here, maybe just a tiny bit there, but that's it for this. Here's the old carburetor just pulled out of the car. Here is the new one that I'm going to be putting in. I've labeled the bolts for which went to where. We have the spring for the throttle and whatnot here. And here's a view from the front of the two carburetors. Again, with all the parts I've labeled, some I've had to label here. Okay, so that's a good point to break for today's part of the video series. We successfully removed the old carburetor, got all the coolant drained. Next time, I'll be working on the valve cover gaskets, the spark plug replacement, and we'll make our way down to do the intake manifold gasket. As always, thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned. I'll have more Chevy videos hopefully coming soon.